So starting off from where we left off, I've got the page with our frames, our black frames, and a text. I've added to the master page the remaining guides for the second side of the spread. So I'm just going to demonstrate what we're going to do and how we're going to place the images into these frames. First of all, I'm going to select all these frames, these black frames. I'm going to get rid of the black and just make them none, just in case there's any issues. I don't want to see any black, or if the images are smaller that I put in, maybe that become obvious a bit later. Okay, so I've got these frames, so I'm going to select these one at a time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Apple, Place, and there's Apple D. So, cancel that, and just so you can see what I'm doing on my keyboard strokes, I've got a new bit of software that's going to show you that. So Apple D, okay, and I'm going to scroll to the desktop, and I'm going to go, you remember right at the beginning I set up a directory called test spread Dan Duran, and that was a folder that had all the images in it and the InDesign file and template. And there we go. So I'm going to go to images. I'm going to just have a quick look through some of these. Okay. Could do that one. Okay, so this is Dan. That's going to import that image. Now this image is currently way too big for this frame. So if I use the direct selection tool, I can see how big the image is. It's obviously massive. So I don't want it to fit inside that tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control click, and I'm going to go to Fitting, and I'm going to fit content proportionally. Okay, so that's not going to work. I'm going to go back and fill frame proportionally. There we go. So that's the image in there now. I'm going to shift it up a bit, so I'm going to just highlight it, and I'm going to push the up arrow. I'm kind of mindful I don't want to chop off the top of that little tower. That'll make the image look a bit weird, but that's kind of about right. Okay, so I'm going to go through and do that. I'll just do one more for the next one. I'm going to grab that one and press Apple D again. And let's have a look at one of these. This one, a bigger one. So once again, this is much too big, so I'm going to grab my direct selection tool, and I'm going to go Fitting, and I'm going to fill frame proportionally. Now I know that this image is actually portrait, and for some reason the camera has not pulled that in properly, so I'm going to have to rotate that. So I'm going to grab, while selecting it with the direct selection tool, so there's a red box, I'm going to grab, go to up here, and you can see that just up here, and I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. I'm going to grab that image, I'm going to place that in there, and now I'm not going to fit this image, I'm just going to do it manually, because I've got a feeling I'll probably get a nicer crop. Okay, so that's about right for me. So let's change some of these text. I can go to my text tool, double click on this text. Dan with spoons. I have an extra space in there. I have. Okay, so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly go through these and add the various images, and then I'm going to show you how to export. So here is the page laid out. I've got my images on the left-hand side, and I've gone for a full bleed page on the right-hand side. Now you'll notice that I've gone, the image that I've placed has actually gone past the page and right up to the bleed line, which is this red line which goes around the outside. And that's so when the book is chopped off along this black line, even if the images move slightly, I still won't get any white on the edges of the book. It will still be picture. I've also aligned this text so it's aligned with the corners of the grid that I made, and this helps to kind of keep it all shipshape. Now let me just get rid of the guides, which is Apple : and you can see what the book's going to look like. I can also preview it if I go down to my menu bar, toolbar, sorry, and go preview. That's what the book's going to look like. So it's looking pretty good. Yep, that's pretty good. I could maybe swap these round, put this on that side and those on that side, but yeah, no, by and large that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm happy with that, so I'm going to save this, and okay, save. Great, that's saved it, and then I'm going to export a copy, a PDF, so that I can upload it to the Dropbox. So I'm going to export, and it's taking me somewhere else. I don't want to go there, so I want to find that folder that I created. Test, there goes the images. I'm going to create a new folder in there called Output. Oh, Output. And I'm going to put all the PDFs and anything I output out of the files, various different versions or whatever, I'm going to put in there. So this is test book, so I'm going to change the name of this. I'm going to call it Dan Duran _test spread. Now the reason I don't use spaces and I use underscores is because Mac OS X is a Unix-based operating system, and Unix it's not so bad now, but in its infancy, it doesn't like spaces, as it kind of indicates that it's a different directory. So the kind of the bottom line is avoid using spaces. In a kind of professional workplace, people tend not to use spaces or use underscores. So it's a good habit to get into, just underscore instead of space. Okay, so I've named that file. I've chosen Adobe PDF. If you've got an option of interactive or a print PDF, you want to choose print. Okay, I'm going to hit save. Now my preset is high quality, which is fine for this instance. Now pages I want to export. Well, I want to export both those pages, and because I modified the spread at the beginning, I don't need to change any of those options. I can just leave it to all. Compression, I can leave that as is. Marks and bleeds, I don't want any crop marks or anything on it. Output, I don't want it to do any color conversion. This will be just the regular RGB images, and I also will do a converted one as well, and I'll output those, and they can both go in the test book. But for this one, I'm just going to keep this as a regular no conversion. And that is about it. You don't need to worry about advanced, security, or summary. I'll hit export. And this is going to pull in all the images and actually make the PDF from the InDesign layout which I've made. Now, if you've got a book with several 30 or odd pages, this may well take a little bit of time. You're probably going to be sitting there for a good 10 minutes or so, and that's kind of normal. Okay, I'm going to save that once again. I'm just going to close this. Don't need that. And then if I go to my test spread and I look in my output folder, close my images, there's my spread. Now I can look at that in preview. And there goes page 1 or page 2, and there's page 3. Great, and I'm ready. I can open my Dropbox and test spreads, and well, I'm neither group 1 or group 2, so I'm just going to put that into group 2. And that is as simple as it gets.